How's it going, everybody? It's Warren. Welcome back to my channel, The Cosmic Wonder, where we talk about everything relating to Marvel and, of course, everything relating to the MCU. And today we have some X-Men news, some quite interesting X-Men news. In a report that says Marvel, for one story of the X-Men, is going to take it in a different way that you probably never expected to see on screen. An adaptation of an old comic book run and the animated X-Men series from the 90s. Now, we know that Marvel Studios wants to do something different with the X-Men than Fox did. The X-Men films towards the end weren't really that well received and very well liked by the fandom. So Marvel Studios is going to want to stay way clear from that, do totally different storylines, and add different X-Men characters. And that's exactly what they're going to do, and I'll break down this new report that we have today in this video. But if you're new, be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date on everything relating to the MCU, and to enter this week's giveaway, which is a Captain America Avengers Endgame Funko Pop. All you gotta do is subscribe, like the video, and comment down below. So this report is coming from Mikey Sutton, and in his report he says, Professor X isn't the only scientific genius Marvel Studios will be adding once the formerly Fox properties begin to appear in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So a few months ago, back in November of 2019, Mikey initially reported that the Savage Land will be featured in an upcoming X-Men movie. And in this report, he says that he has received additional, albeit tentative, plot details about what could possibly function as the second X-Men film, meaning that when there finally is an X-Men film in the MCU, it won't be the first one, but it will be the second one. His name is Dr. Carl Lykos, an old college chum of Professor X, and he mysteriously disappeared while on an expedition. Joined by his mutant students, Professor X's search takes him to the Savage Land, where he is shocked to discover that Lykos has changed, transformed into a pterodactyl-like being who now calls himself Sauron. In Mikey's report, he says that this is an early basic premise of what will evolve into a polished storyline that will draw influence from both its comic book roots and X-Men, the animated series from the 90s. The lineup for the X-Men is still awaiting a final decision, but apparently Havoc will be among them here. In his original scoop, Mikey included appearances from Ka-Zar and Shanna, and he says that both characters are still being discussed to appear in this film as Lykos' friends before he became Sauron. He concludes by saying that Sauron is not considered to be the main foe in this little world of dinosaurs, especially a devil dinosaur, the Jack Kirby creation, who is being tweaked into the Savage Land. He says that the main villain is going to be the guy who changed Lykos into Sauron, and who that person is, he is dropping that news exclusively on the Lords of the Long Box's YouTube channel, and I'll link them down below. Now, as I said in the beginning, this is certainly not something that many fans would have expected to be adapted onto the big screen, or silver screen if they decide to go to Disney+. But the Savage Land actually has a ton of connections to the X-Men, the Avengers, and Spider-Man. And the Savage Land is just one part of Earth. It's in Antarctica. So having it in the story of the X-Men, just like from the comic book run, could really set a lot of things up for the future. Not have an entire movie revolved around one specific area, but having characters come out of it, having characters go into it briefly for some stories would be really cool to see on the screen. It would be very different and very cinematic, and I think would be really cool to see on screen. But let me know what you all think about this. Would you like to see the Savage Land story be adapted onto the big screen? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss out on anything relating to the MCU. Be sure to follow me on Twitter for live updates, and as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.